My name is Saurabh Sharma, and I'm having around 13 years of corporate experience. So today I'll be continuing on my learnings from the book Deep Work by Cal Newport. So during our last book club session, we discussed about what deep work is, what is the difference between deep work and shallow work, and we also discussed that we in current scenario are very much occupied with the shallow work where everything is urgent. We are interrupted a lot with lots of emails, unscheduled meetings, and a lot of distracting things that doesn't allow us to go towards doing the deep work. That was the recap from the last book club sessions. So today, I'm going to share that how we can develop habits to do deep work. So there are a few factors that determine our habits to develop deep work. These are: number one, we have to choose our deep work philosophy. Number two is we have to make deep work a habit. Number three, we have to execute it like a business. Number four, we have to remove distractions. And number five is we have to use downtime to increase our deep work efforts. So today I'll be covering the first point, that is to choose our deep work philosophy. So for deep work philosophy, there is a schedule. Okay, it has a kind of a quadrant, and it has four phases. So we can use four approaches. The one is monastic, second is bimodal, third is rhythmic, and fourth is journalistic. So in monastic philosophy, what we can do is we can maximize our attempt to do deep work. Okay, for an example, in an office, someday we get very critical work. So what we do, we isolate ourselves from everything, find some place quiet, meeting room or something, and we dedicate our time to focus on that work. All that work. So that is kind of an example of monastic philosophy, that we have to maximize our attempts and efforts in doing some work deeply. So that is monastic philosophy. Second is bimodal philosophy, in which we can schedule our time randomly to decide the work between deep and shallow work. We can decide it. We have to do it on weekly, monthly, daily, whatever schedule we can decide. So we can work on stretches uh, uh, between deep work and shallow work. And the third is rhythmic philosophy. So in that, we have to schedule exact time, like 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hours, that we will dedicate it to our deep work. So in difference between rhythmic and biomodel is, in biomodel we can have irregular time intervals, but in rhythmic philosophy we have to have a specific end time. So we have to look into our day and divide it into deep work and shallow work. And the fourth is journalistic philosophy for deep work. So in that, what we have to do, that we have to fit our schedule, our work, our timing accordingly for deep work and shallow work. So what I can do, let me quickly share my screen for a moment so that I can give you an idea about these quadrants. Uh, I hope the screen is visible.
Yes, yes.
Yes, so you can see that there are four quadrants: monastic, in which we are entirely working deeply. Second is bimodal, where we have immense deep work and shallow work. We can divide it evenly, unevenly. Third is rhythmic, where we have pockets of time for deep work, shallow work, but the time are fixed. And fourth is this journalistic, where we ourselves schedule between shallow work and deep work, and the intervals can be regular, irregular, whatever we want. So this is what I want to cover, and I will cover the other philosophies or other deep work strategies in upcoming sessions. Thank you, Karthik. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Saurabh. It was very helpful. I think since we get a lot of distractions in the current situation, it was very apt. Anybody has any questions for Saurabh? Yeah, I think Rishika has some question.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just wanted to ask sort of nice session, but one of the questions that I have is that now we have all this learning that we have learned from the book. So technically, what do you call that? There is that 25. There is some I don't know what is called Parandora or some Paramdora, some technique
Pareto
I think.
principle.
Pareto principle.
Uh, so in that there is that. So wouldn't that come in one of these sections, the rhythmic one?
Uh, it can come. So because I can say that Cal Newport is trying to explain these four philosophy, so he has just explained it accordingly that we can have it. So it can come in between because Pareto principle says that 80-20 rule.
Yeah. So I think
20% of efforts give 80% of results.
yes. I always have to I always wonder all these teachings that we have, but how do we actually apply these things in our day-to-day scenario? Plus, we always forget all these learnings that we have.
It
Do you
happens.
have a special technique that we can use?
No, still I'm still adapting. Working makes a lot of distractions come up.
Okay.
One technique that I use is when I have to do the deep work, I set my status to offline.
Okay. That works. That works. Okay. That's a question from me.
Yeah, I thought I'll add one more point. Rishika, I mean, like whatever we read so much, but we may not be able to implement the complete 100%, I would say, right? Some people can have that capability to implement all 100%, but at least you can start implementing some aspect of it. Okay, so I mean that's all. Like slowly, when we keep implementing small aspects every week, right? 1%, 10%, whatever. That's how we can slowly, I mean, improve in that way. That's what I would say. 100% at one shot will be very difficult.